Hello everybody. Apa khabar? Welcome to Virtually Peranakan Fest 2024. My name is Baba Alvin Un from Peranakans Sayang, hosting this festival from Singapore. This is our 5th year presenting this online festival featuring all things Peranakan from around the region. A very big hello to everyone watching this program. Hello. Now do say hello and share your views or ask questions in the comments section. Now, we certainly hope you enjoy the programs. So do like or follow our Peranakan, Peranakan Sayang Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have yet to do so, to support our efforts in keeping our Baba Nyonya communities connected and our culture alive and kicking. As always, it is my pleasure to have my kaki co-hosting this festival with me. He is from Malacca. Let's bring on Baba Cedric Tan. Hello, Baba.
Good afternoon from Malacca.
Yay! Apa khabar? Semua baik?
Bagus. Yeah. Thankfully, it's a bit cloudy today, not as bright, so you don't see my face glaring and shiny.
Okay, so today's the second day of Virtually Peranakan Fest 2024, and we are going to begin with a very interesting and humorous session from Penang. Siapa datang
Ini kawan kita from up north, Baba Peter Yeoh.
Peter Yeoh.
I understand. Yeah, Peter Yeoh is, his great grandfather came from Medan.
Oh, that's
so
great.
We're going to hear a lot of northern style Hokkien today. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
For some very unique Hokkien words up north. Yeah.
I see. Okay, let's bring on our good friend Peter Yeoh. Hello, Peter. Apa khabar?
Khabar baik, Wahi sekali.
Hi, Peter.
This is the Babas from across the Straits settlements,
Yeah,
yes.
betul.
Another round, yeah. Complete,
Full set. Okay, so Ba, what are you sharing with us today?
Well, it's very interesting because Penang, Baba Nyonya people, we don't really speak Malay as much as the people in Malacca or even Singapore, Baba Nyonyas, because we are almost at the mirror image. Orang Malacca, orang Singapore selalu cakap Baba Malay, then they insert Hokkien words. But in Penang, we speak Hokkien. There we put Malay words. But of course, our Hokkien is unique lah. Bukan unique to Penang, but unique to the northern part of this region, because as you know, the people in Medan, in Aceh, northern Sumatra, even people last in southern Thailand, they speak the same Hokkien as Penang. So today, I just want to talk a little about the history of our language, our Hokkien language in Penang. How it came about, and but this is not going to be a history lesson. It's not going to be boring. Because I want to share about the how crazy Penang Hokkien is, how naughty sometimes the way we use our language. Yeah, I want this session to be also interactive. I hope there are a lot of Penang, Baba, Nyonya around the world, not just in Penang, who are dialing in, who can also contribute to the discussion, because I want my discussion to be, interactive lah.
Bagus. Yeah. We've got a lot of kawan online already, so everybody is saying hello. But in the interest of time, we will continue unless you got questions or comments, then we will add in lah. Not tak habis kita tau.
Ya, kita ada 1 jam saja, ujian jeng dia.
Alright.
So to start off, my slide, I put this slide up because it's quite interesting. These are all the prominent Penang Baba at the turn of the 20th century, 1900. My own great-grandfather, who's born in Penang, is here. We got. The rest of these people are all directors of the Penang Opium and Spirit Fund.
Wow.
Yang ini you kenal, yang ini is the Chong Fat Si, the Blue Mansion punya. So you see, in the 20th century, the opium trading is actually legal in Penang because the British colonial government licensed us lah. So all the directors in the Penang Opium and Spirit Farm are called opium plantation manager. But actually, there's no plantation in Penang lah. The plantation are all in India. We are called plantation manager, but because we are licensed dealers. Okay, so one thing about this opium industry also because it's given to all the family, the old family who control all the merchant trade in Penang. So because of that, they control everything, tin mining lah, even plantation, other kind of crop lah, cash crops and all that. Tin mining, of course, is very big. So a lot of our relationship with Phuket is from tin mining. Because Phuket has tin mines even dating back to the 10th century, 10th, 11th century. In fact, before we have, like all these different Siam or the Malay Sultanates and all that, that time. But that was a time when the Chinese also eventually started trickling down. So for the Penang Hokkien people, a lot of us actually come from Changzhou. Changzhou, if you look at, let me go to, just a map here. See, Fujian province is where the Hokkiens are the earliest to come because, in the 13th century, Fujian is already where the Ming dynasty's fleets are at the ports. So we already have a lot of foreigners who live there at that time. So because of that, the Hokkien people are very, very used to even intermarrying with foreign people. We are Arabs, we are Turkish people and all that living there. Okay. So because of that, and Quanzhou, which is a very important port, dating back to the 13th century. Now, a lot of Baba Nyonyas, the Hokkien from Malacca and also from Singapore actually come from Quanzhou. But for Penang, we come from Changzhou, which is more southern. So because of that, our accent is a bit different. And actually, Penang people, we come from Haiteng County within Changzhou. Haiteng County, this is an old map. Today, I think the modern map, Long Yan, has already absorbed Haiteng County. Haiteng County, as we know it in the 19th century, does not exist anymore. But, it is under the Long Yan County. So this is where our dialect, our unique dialect comes from. For example, like in Singapore, you call chopsticks in Changzhou they call it ti, in Long Yan we call it tu. Yeah, so
32.
Tu.
32.
Pig, in the Hokkien is very tonal, right? Then pig in Quanzhou is called te, but in Changzhou is ti. Then we call tu, so you can see the difference. So that's how the uniqueness of the Penang Hokkien dialect come about. Just very, very briefly, this slide is just to talk about Haiteng County, how the people came to Nanyang even as far back as the 16th century. So during that time, the Ming dynasty, the Ming emperor has already had this ban on maritime trade because they want to stop the Chinese from going out. The problem is because I think there are a lot of piracy and a lot of other problems that they face. So, but the Hokkiens have always been doing a form of smuggling because they have been trading with the Southeast Asians for centuries. So the 13th to 16th century, 1300s to 1600, which is 14th to 17th century, when the Ming dynasty banned it, they still, stealthily leave even from Quanzhou port to go down to Indonesia and all that. The Quanzhou Hokkiens, where the Malaccans and Singaporean Hokkien descended from, if they go to Southeast Asia, I think Batavia or Betawi, today's Jakarta, will be the last place they want to go to. But for the Changzhou Hokkien, that's the first place we want to go to. Because why? The Changzhou Hokkien are mainly farmers. We run plantations and we plant sugar cane. So Java at that time actually welcomed the Chinese to come and plant sugar cane. So, for example, like Singapore's Wee Tiong Ham, sugar king, right? Because he's descended from people who go there and to plant sugar, to run the sugar industry. Quanzhou Hokkien, on the other hand, are merchants. They're mainly merchants. So when they go to Malacca, they go as traders. So the Changzhou Hokkiens actually have been settling in Sumatra for centuries. So goes for my side of the family. So my great grandfather Yeoh Chin Pun is born in actually Kabupaten Asahan, which is just south of Medan. But of course, our family businesses all were in Medan at that time. We do a lot of business with the British in Bencoolen, Bangkahulu. Because when the British wanted to have their presence in Sumatra, they actually sailed down. They actually wanted to go to Pariaman or Padang, but they overshot. They landed up in Bencoolen. But in 1824, the British decided to exchange Bencoolen because that time Sumatra, Java, all is under the Dutch, except for Bencoolen. Whereas in the Malay states, everything is controlled by the British except Malacca, which is under the Dutch. So in 1824, when they have the Anglo-Dutch Treaty, they exchanged Bencoolen for Malacca. So when the Dutch moved to Bencoolen and the British moved out, they moved to Penang, they didn't move to Malacca, the British. A lot of those who were doing trading with them, including my family, they decided to move, because they say if we stay on in Sumatra, we have to deal with the Dutch. The tax is very high, 40% and all that. The British, they opened Penang, free port, no tax, What we get is from the other peripheral services that we provide. So that was how in 1824, right after that, my great-grandfather moved to Penang. At that time, a lot of clans moved. The Hokkiens from Medan, from Asahan, from all the areas of Delhi, all that, from Sumatra, we moved there. And that's how also Penang Hokkien came about. At the same time, there's Kole Huan, Penang's first Kapitan China. At that time, he was Kapitan China Kuala Muda. When the Sultan of Kedah signed the treaty with Captain Francis Light and say, okay, I give you Penang, you protect me from Siam. So when Captain Francis Light came on shore, Kole Huan actually is an emissary of the Sultan of Kedah to come and greet Francis Light. So what he did was that he brought a fishing net. The fishing net is supposed to symbolize hope. And in the Changzhou dialect, the fishing net is Hibang. Not Hebang or not Hubang, which is what I think Hokkien will say. So at that time, imagine when Francis Light stepped on shore in Penang, the emissary from the Southern Kedah is speaking Changzhou Hokkien. He's giving a net because Hibang is a homophone of hope. I give you a new Hibang. I'll give you a new hope. So instead of, if he had been speaking Penang's Haiteng Hokkien, you say, what talking about Holu Chile Sine Hubang? That's a Penang Hokkien. But no, he's saying Changzhou Hokkien at the time. What did I say? Hibang, Sine Hibang. So it's like, it's a different dialect that was being used at the time. And that was back in 1786. Kole Huan became so influential and so useful to Captain Francis Light. The next year, 1787, he became the first Kapitan China for Penang. And in fact, his son, Ko Kok Chi, subsequently accompanied Stamford Raffles down to found Singapore. Because at that time, Stamford Raffles' wife and children were staying in Penang. So they sailed the ships from the British East India Company, who actually sailed down in 1819, 1819, to found Singapore. Then subsequently, you can see the Penang's 5 big clans that became very, very influential. The Ku clan is the largest. Then there's the Lim, the Tan, the Chia, and the Yeoh. We are the 5 oldest clans. I think the Lim clan came from Malacca. They are pepper traders. So the Ku clan as well. But the Ku were also doing tin mining in Phuket. The Chia clan came from southern Thailand, and our Yeoh clan came over from Sumatra. Okay, and we are the 5 oldest clans, and the commonality is that we all come from Haiteng County, and so we all are the same. We speak the same, not just the same dialect, but we are also almost a kinsmen. And for Chong Fat Si, the Blue Mansion owner, he's Hakka, but he came from Haiteng County as well, so he can speak our Hokkien.
Kakinang.
Kakinang. So anyway, like I said earlier, I'm not here to give a history lesson on.
You just did.
I want to say that Penang Hokkien is so interesting. I mean, I must say that because I spent more than half my life in Singapore, so I hope I'm not making some mistakes in my Penang Hokkien. But if I do, can some of the audience please intercede and say, okay, you pronounce that wrong, you know?
Okay.
Anyway, this is my great-great-grandfather. He's born in Penang. His picture was in there's a book that the British came out with, 20th century impressions of British Malaya. That time he was the president of the Chinese Association in Penang. So this is my great-great-grandfather who's born in Penang, Yeoh. That's my great-grandfather, Yeoh Tin Lin. The boy sitting is Yeoh Tin Kee. Yeoh Tin Kee is my great-grand-uncle. He's also one of the first directors of the Baba Bangsawan troupe in Penang. Because, and usually, in the Baba family, the elder son will be the one that the father pressure to do a lot of things. The younger son can do whatever he wants. So this guy he's one of the 3 person who actually brought in the first Dang Sayang troupe from Malacca to perform in Penang in the 1920s. So he's into arts. So he's into bangsawan, wayang Peranakan and all that. So orang cakap mau naik panggung, he'll be number 1 lah. Okay. So anyway, this is what I like to share about the Penang Hokkien. Penang Hokkien sometimes can be very crude, very naughty. For example, this one, Bin Pui Kao, Sanga Jamban Pang, means your face, your skin so thick, like the plank of a toilet. So you can, the old toilet, not our modern toilet, the old toilet, macam the one you see Piramli movie, the Alibaba Bujang Lapo, is called a plank. And then I think you have to make sure your plank is thick. Otherwise, nanti jatuh dalam itu lubang. Down there, you know what it is. So it's a form of insult, right? Yeah. So usually, if someone is very arrogant or don't know how to be, the tak tahu malu and all that. Of course, in Penang we don't speak Baba Malay lah. We speak Hokkien. So we say Bin Pui Kao, jangan jamban pang. Pang is. Yeah. Another one. The next one is Bin Mo Peng, Kai Tiao Teng. It's a rhyme, right? Yeah, Bin Mo Peng, pork mark face, Kai Tiao Teng. You can hang nails on it. So it's a very common one. Ask any Penang Chinese, not just Baba Nyonya, the Chinese people, they use the same. Yeah, okay. The other one is very interesting. The other one is Bei Hiao Tiao Bu, Gong To Ka Bo Be. Dance, you blame the floor, not even, These are people who are, it's always very sarcastic, like you tell that person to do something, they cannot do it, then they say, because of this, I got this limitation, this constraint, or I want to do this, but my parents don't give me, or I want to do that, but my boss in my office don't do that. But they'll say, Bei Hiao Tiao Bu, Gong To Ka Bo Man, The other similar one is Bei Hiao Go Chun, Hiam Kang Kang E. Yeah. Don't know to row the boat up, blame the river for being too narrow. So that's a similar one. Yeah.
So never blame yourself, blame other things. Right?
Yes. You're giving excuses.
Always somebody's fault. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always somebody's fault, and then you're giving excuses and all that, So these are it's just very colorful. You can see that a lot of these sayings came from a very early part of probably 19th century and all that, where a lot of things are household things or something that can be quite pastoral, things like that. Yeah. So nothing sophisticated, it's almost it almost reminds you of the Malay, the peribahasa Melayu also. Yeah. It's very homebound, very household.
Simple life. Yeah.
Yes, correct. More, okay, insults. Abe tang chik so yi. Like, not even tang chik already make the glutinous rice ball. It's been you
okay. Pretty much.
At least not, yeah.
Testing, test drive.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
don't, yeah. It was quite funny because when I was preparing this slide, then
You
I
were
got
laughing.
this. Yeah, no. I got this email. I'm a member of the same as Cedric Persatuan Peranakan Baba Nyonya KL Selangor. I think they're promoting one rolling the glutinous rice ball party next week.
Yes.
It was very early. I remember that. I was like, oh my god, so abe tangchik so which for us just means that hey, this is a shotgun wedding, you know. Another one is a very common, almost like curse word. But you how psycho means your eye covered with feces, lah. Yeah, it means usually it means someone who's quite biased or who's ignorant.
Ah,
So if someone happens in a situation whereby like sometimes could be a family thing, like
yeah.
the daughter-in-law was rude to the mother-in-law, but the son doesn't do anything. Then the mom will say, "Aya, why can't? But you are psycho, like something wrong. So you don't you cannot see you feces
Blinded.
or shit, covering your eyes, things like that. So this a very very a common kind of cuss word. Yeah. The other one is very sarcastic. Beijingchu. Beijingchu means you cannot recognize your own house. Yeah. So usually that refers to people who are too drunk. As you know, I think the for the Baba in Penang, a lot of them came from very how to say privileged upbringing.
Of course.
They spend all their time, a lot of the Babas who are second generation, third generation, they spend their time in the clubs, association, drinking and chatting with friends and all that. Which is also coming to the old Chinese saying about how wealth cannot last beyond 3 generations.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. I think it's the same in Singapore or even
Yes,
in
that's
Malacca.
true.
Yeah. So a lot of time, they drink too much. They could be gambling, but
Wine, women,
if you,
and song.
and you do things so you're spending so much
Extravagantly.
time outside the home. Sometimes forget about your family. Then people will say, Beijing Chu. You cannot recognize your own house anymore. Because it's like you're so you're spending so much time outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so interesting.
This one is quite interesting. This one I think is quite a common saying. I don't know whether we have something similar in Malacca or Singapore. I pangsai kan like chui jamban. Only when you have the shit there, only you desperately look for a toilet.
Cedric, I think that's a saying, right?
Ya, mau
In
berak
Malay.
cecek jamban.
Yeah,
Mau
itulah.
tercirit kau cecek jamban.
It's the same, huh? Yeah, it's the same
Same.
saying. Yeah, I think I don't know who came up with it. Do you think that it came out in Malay first and translate to Hokkien, or it's a
Could
Hokkien
be,
thing?
no?
Then?
It could
Could be.
translated.
It's a similar idiom in bahasa Malaysia too.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's people say makan angin, Chak Hong. Chak
Chak
Hong. But Chak Hong is never used in China or anywhere.
So it's localized, right?
Yeah. So it could be a Malay saying that we turn it into Hokkien, Yeah. Just like your kabaya. Kabaya in Penang, we don't call it kabaya, we call it Pua Teng Te. Pua Teng Te means half, not long, not short. Yeah. Half short, half long.
Half long.
Half long, half short. Pua Teng Te. Yeah. Then baju panjang, Teng Sa. So we actually took the whole Malay word and translated it. So the word, the construction of the word in Penang is exactly the same as in Malacca or in Singapore, except that we use Hokkien. Like Tok Panjang become Teng Tok. Teng means Panjang, Teng Tok.
Yes.
So you can see that we are using, but of course, I mean, people always say, okay, where did our culture come from? Penang, Peranakan, Baba Nyonya culture came from Malacca. Okay, the first when in 1786 when Francis Lai wanted to build Penang, he told the Babas in Malacca, you have to come up here because we are going to be here. You cannot stay in Malacca. So the Malaccans came, and that's how they bring their culture. And then, of course, those of us who came later from Sumatra, from southern Thailand, we came already in the 1800s, 1850s, early 1800 or mid 1800. By that time, the Baba Nyonya culture, which is from Malacca, was already there, and we build on it. We evolve from it. Yeah. So that's why our culture is similar. Yeah. That the language, even the food and all that. Yeah, and the songs, the dances, the culture. But of course, slowly then Penang started evolving because of the input of the Thai, the Siamese, and the input of the Medan people and northern Sumatran. Yeah. So you can see the origin is also from Malacca. But of course, Malacca's influence on Penang was very short-lived because in 1786 it started. By 1819, when Singapore was found, the Malaccans all choose to go to Singapore because Singapore is the new capital of the Straits Settlement. So by 1819, no one comes to Penang anymore. Everyone goes to Singapore. Yeah. Anyway, coming to the next saying, "Ai tao chia, yao chit chui," means if you want to steal and eat, you must remember to wipe your mouth.
Oh.
Tengok ada minyak lah, apa lah, This is to say, you want to cheat on your wife, or you want to, I don't know,
Do anything illegal.
You must know how to cover your tracks. Yeah. So this is another saying. "Ai tao chia, yao chit chui." Next one. "Bo chia tio ko, mana zai ti." Mana is Malay word, mana zai ti.
Yeah, mana.
Bo chia tio ko. You have not even tasted something bitter. Mana zai ti. How do you know the sweetness? How can you recognize sweetness? Yeah. So this is a saying that talk about if you have never experienced hardship, how do you know what it is to finally succeed or to become comfortable? This is another one of the.
That's a very nice saying.
Yeah. Do you have that in Singapore?
In English, of course, but not that I know of in Malay.
No, not in Malay.
I suppose there is, but maybe we're not smart enough. So
yeah, or it could be just a
we are not linguists.
Yeah, I like this saying. I think this one.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Bittersweet
The other is
memories,
the next one. Chap sa tiam. Chap sa tiam is. It's like when you call someone chap sa tiam, that guy is a nutcase.
So what's the difference between sasuku?
I think it's a variant. It's a variation.
Similar, right? Not. I mean, sasuku is like not all there.
Yeah, it's not all that.
Not complete. Like something is missing.
Yeah. Right, chap sa tiam refers to like a clock is only up to 12, right? This guy is 13. So yeah, also not quite right. Yeah,
extra.
Not quite right. Yeah,
that's also is like tak cukup.
Yeah,
tak cukup extra.
Yeah, you need a lebih. Okay, coming to the next one. This one is these are sarcastic saying. "Chemeke tiao tiao tang," means a blind chicken. Hey, suddenly caught a worm. It's an unexpected windfall. So sometimes maybe someone, maybe someone do nothing, then suddenly an aunt died. Wow, give all the property to this person who's quite useless. Or they say, "Oh, chairman tiao tiao tang," with a blind chicken. Wow, how come I can get a worm? Yeah,
so lucky,
The other one I think is quite common. "Jia huan jiu, ai jia chai luat." Jia huan jiu, chai luat. Whoever eat the chili, dia kena itu pedas lah, Siapa makan chili, dia tahu pedas, So knowing one's guilt for wrongdoing. So as you can see, the Penang Hokkien, huan jiu, instead of hiam jiu, we use
huan jiu.
It's quite interesting because when I was in Philippines, in Manila, I think about 25 years ago, the local Philippine Chinese are called Chinoys, right? So they were talking one day and they were speaking their own Hokkien, which I can pieces off. Then suddenly they use the word Huan Na. I said, are you referring to the Pinoys, the ethnic Filipino? I said, Huan Na. He said, oh, how do you know that? I said, yeah, well, that's what in Penang we call Huan Na lah. Then they'll say, yeah, but Huan Na in literal translation means mountain savages.
Be careful.
Yeah, for them, So I said, oh my God, okay. Yeah, orang bukit, orang apa tu, yeah, like savages, barbarians, mountain barbarians, yeah. Yeah. But so Huan Chiu, I think it's because they associate that with the local people. Of course, chili is not from this region anyway. It was introduced to us by probably the Indians, who got it from the Portuguese. Yeah, as you know, when Christopher Columbus founded America, and they brought along a lot of the New World crops. It includes potato, corn, and chili. Before that, the rest of the world don't have chili. Yeah? Then about 2 decades later, that was when the Portuguese sailed around the Cape of Good Hope and arrived in India in 1500s. And they brought along, that time, some of the chili and introduced it to the Indian subcontinent. Of course, very soon after they took over Goa, they arrived in Malacca. But of course, the Portuguese won't be bringing chili to teach you how to eat, right? They are bringing their guns to take over your city, So I think the chili was introduced to us by the Indians subsequently. The Indian traders are always been coming to this part of the world. Okay. Yeah. Another saying here is quite interesting. Siu gao geng, geng tio chao geng geng. You're so choosy. In the end, you end up with the spot longan. It's like maybe you spend so much time trying to choose to pick this, pick that, or in the end you end up with something rotten. I think you spend too much time. So it says one cannot be too fussy in life. Or you end up with regret. I sometimes refer to people or ask their son, why are you going to get married? This woman not good enough for me. That woman in the end, old already, but still cannot find a wife. Then they say, siu gao geng, geng the chow geng geng.
Okay, we've got to speed up a little, Rick Peter.
Okay, let's go on. Yeah, time really passes,
Yeah,
that's quite interesting. Choke, of course, become a prostitute. What's interesting is choke become a duck. That's a meal.
Gigolo.
Yeah, gigolo. Then of course another one is they like to say cho kui cho kwai. Like to become a ghost want to be pretentious So it's up to no good Yeah. So when they say someone he can lang cho kui cho kwai means it's always up to no good. There's something not quite right about what he's doing. Okay. This one are rhymes. These are Hokkien poetry. Cha bo bo ang kang kang, ka wei liao, ko ka kang, ta bo bo bo, jin kang ko, ka wei liao, ko ka ko. Okay, it says, cha bo bo ang, the woman, no husband, kang kang, empty, empty inside. Ka wei liao, ko ka kang, after marriage, even emptier, I think this is an indictment of some people. Their marriage not happy, right?
Yeah.
So tapo bobo, a man no wife. Jing kan ko very hard. Kawen liao ko ka ko after married, or even more bitter, Yeah, bitter. Yeah. So this I think this rhyme is quite it's quite interesting.
You are promoting being bachelors, is it?
It looks that way, right? It does look that way. It's like it's like marriage. It seems not that as what it's made up to be. Kind of thing.
What's next?
This one is a rhyme that people like to the children like to make fun of other children. Chao tao pi gun he bo noa lia chao tao pi like pui noa. People last time the kids they got the head sore. Then the rhyme says, oh, boil it with dried shrimp. In the dried shrimp, the heavy, cannot soften, you grab the smelly hair and spit on him. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just a naughty rhyme. Yeah. So they like to sing this to other kids, Yeah. Okay. Okay. This one is quite interesting. Chi kia boka, sanga chi gu, chi chawa boka, sanga chi tu. So it's like, as I said, if you raise a son without teaching the right or wrong, you are like rearing a cow. Similarly, if you raise a daughter without teaching her what's right or wrong, it's like rearing a pig. Okay? So this is another rhyme. Talk about parents who don't do their responsibility lah. Yeah. This one, the next one is quite interesting. I think it's for usually a bride, not to peep at the bridegroom. Nya tik tik kia, tang peng lai kwa aba. They say nya, walk straight. Don't turn back and look at the groom lah. Aba kwa liao tiao che kia. You some go like Jack Baker, after seeing the bridegroom, you got such a big shock. Even you improve the medicine also cannot cure you from your shock.
He must look hideous, that woman.
I think it's one of the rhyme that they say, don't try and peep at the bridegroom. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Okay. Okay, another one is just a rhyme, and it's a rhyme that people use to disturb the kueh seller. Be abo abo, chak lao, bo che bo. Be, of course, is sell abo abo, the kueh. You can see this, again, this is a high-tech Hokkien, because the Chuan Chou Hokkien will be bue, bue abo abo. Then they say, chak lao, bo che bo. After eat, you never wash your backside. This is to disturb the kueh maker.
Cebok, isn't it a Malay word?
Yes, which we adopted. We adopted into the Hokkien. Yeah.
Water rinsing.
Yeah. This one is for when you're baby. When they're baby, you want the baby to open and close the palm, right? So usually the grandma or the auntie or the mom will tell the baby, "Cak cik ko udang gamit, minta kapo bagi kunyit." It's just a rhyme. They sing it and then they tell the baby to like open and close the feast. Have you heard of that before? This is a rhyme. Yeah.
This one must relate to those people who are parents lah. We all bachelors.
Yeah. The grandmothers or the auntie. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This one is a ditty. Okay. Tek kaki moho chi, châu lang e simpu bat to li, am kun, cha cha ki, se tao bua hun tiam yen chi, jip chao ka, se wa tu, jip tua tia, cheng to yi, jip bang lai, siu chang ji, olo hia, olo hia, olo di, olo chin ke chen gao ka si. This one is actually advice to a young bride. Tegaki mohochi, of course, the tegaki and then the cake and the biscuit. Cho lang e simpu batoli, to become someone's daughter-in-law, you must know how to behave. Am kun, you very late only you sleep. Cha cha ki, you are the earliest to wake up in the morning. Then you say tao means to comb your hair. Buat hun, powder your face. Tiam yan chi, you dot your lips, which apply lipstick. Jip chao ka, go inside the kitchen. Se wa tu, wash bowl and chopstick. Jip tua tia, go into the main hall. Cheng to yi, use the feather duster to dust the table and the chair. Jip bang lai, go inside the bedroom. Siu xiang ji is to do embroidery, do the manet. Olo here must now to praise the elders. Olo how to praise the younger people also. Olo chinke, praise your father-in-law. Chen, your mother-in-law. Gao kasi, people will say you are very well brought up.
Okay, so well mannered.
Yeah, very well mannered. Okay. Chap Gourmet ditty. I think once someone did ask me, is there a Chap Gourmet ditty that Penang have? And this is the only one that I've seen so far. Hoi Kim Che Chap Gourmet, Chia Lu E Gua Lai Chap There, There Xiu Xiu, Gia Lo Bei Kim Chiu, with the tea is hot, then you walk and get a banana. So it's like one of those silly rhymes that keep going on and on. Kim Chiu Beki Pet, forgot to peel the Gia Lo Bei Che. You forgot to peel your banana, you take your time to go and buy a book. Che Beki Tak, Gia Lo Bei Bak. You forgot to read your book, you go and buy an inkwell. Bak Beki Bois, you forgot to grind your ink. Gia Lo Bei Chua, you go and buy a steak. Chua Beki Lia, Gia Lo Bei Cha Kia. You forgot to buy to catch your steak, so you go and buy clocks, wooden clock. Cha Kia Beki Ching, Gia Lo Bei Garling. You forgot to wear your clocks, you go and buy a myna bird. Garling Ko, Garling So, Chia Lui Gua, Xiu Yan Do. So means the male myna, female myna invite your brother-in-law for a wrestling match. So those are ditties. I still remember as children they will like to recite this. Yeah, it's one of those meaningless but fun kind of ditties.
It sounds like one of those TikTok thing. Tick, tick, tock, tick, tock, and then you do the.
Yeah, correct. In fact, in Penang, a lot of the Hokkien, the Hokkien people, they don't call this cha kia, they call it ka kia. Only in Penang. But of course, if you write it in Chinese, it would be wooden clocks, which is cha kia. Once I think I was in the mainland part of Penang, and we are talking to one of the wooden clock makers, and he's the one that we were submitting to the Penang Heritage Trust as a living heritage treasure, because he's one of the last who know how to make this. And I said, do you call this cha kia or ka kia? So he said, because mainland part of Penang are all Teochew people. In Teochew, we call it cha kia. But he know that on the island where people are Hokkien, they like to use ka kia. Ka means leg, the clock for your leg, for your feet, I guess.
Okay, we've got time for one more slide.
Oh, okay. This is the last slide. No, this just to tell you what, if you want to know more about the Baba sayings and the rhymes and ditties, get Raymond Kwok's books. This is where I extracted a lot of these rhymes from. If you want to know more about how the Penang's Hokkien came about, this is the most useful and informative book. It's called The Penang Chinese Commerce in the 19th Century, The Rise and Fall of the Big Five by Wong Yi Tuan. Okay. There's also Chinese business in the making of a Malay state. It goes beyond Penang into Kedah. And then this one is very interesting, Thai South and Malay North by Michael Montesino and Patrick Jory. They not just on Penang and Kedah and all that, but also Kelantan, okay, Kelantan and Terengganu. Okay, so these are the some of the books that I would highly recommend you get if you want to know more about this. Yeah, okay. So,
Fantastic.
Any questions?
I think our viewers were very entertained by your presentation, and they love hearing your Hokkien. Because some people haven't heard Hokkien for a very long time, and it's refreshing to hear again.
Yeah, that's what this session is about, so people can hear our Penang Hokkien.
That's right. I think that's all the time that we have for this session. We could do another one which has more time to focus on your Hokkien. So, Cedric, any things to share?
No, I was just smiling and laughing at the Hokkien. I mean, it sounded so funny because they try to rhyme it. In their effort to rhyme the end parts of the lines, anything goes. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's meaningless. Some of it is totally meaningless and totally unconnected. Just a rhyme. But these are very, very, very famous rhymes, and I think anyone who's brought up in Penang will know it, would have heard it. Yeah, it'd be nothing that they have not heard before.
Okay, Kamsia. So that's the end of this program. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. We'd like to thank Peter Yeoh for joining us in this festival. Kamsia, Peter.
Kamsia.
Right.
Kamsia
So
kembali.
also thank my co-host Baba Cedric Tan for joining me in this presenting this festival. So please join us for the next program happening at 2 p.m. We are going to have a very interesting panel, the Kabaya, part of our cultural
Wow.
heritage, where we celebrate it being included or inscribed in UNESCO's intangible
Yeah.
cultural heritage. So that's happening at 2 p.m. with guests from around the region. So Kamsia for joining us on Virtually Peranakan Fest 2024, organized by Peranakan Sayang. My name is Baba Elvin Un. Take care, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.